You're spending money on skincare and lasers and chemical peels and facials. But what if I told you this one mistake is making you age faster despite all those things that you're doing and spending money on? Most people don't even realize that they're doing this, but this one thing that you're leaving out in your skincare routine is causing dullness, fine lines and wrinkles and discolorations to happen faster than they would have normally. As a facial plastic surgeon, I've treated thousands of patients. I see this mistake all the time, so let's make sure this doesn't happen to you and let's fix it right now. Hi, I'm Dr. Karam. I'm a board-certified facial plastic surgeon. I'm also the founder and creator of Karam MD Skin. I help people look as young as they feel, and today on Skin School, we're gonna talk about the number one mistake that people are making that are making them actually age faster. The biggest skincare mistake that's making you age faster is not using sun protection or sunscreen. Folks, this is not a light matter. This is actually a complete non-starter if you're going down the road of trying to actually make your skin look better, younger, keep yourself from aging, etc. This starts with this step, and I'm gonna explain the science behind it, why it's so absolutely important, and what we can do about it to both prevent it and to reverse those changes. So not using sunscreen every single day is the number one reason, because UVA damage from the sun accelerates every aspect of skin aging, and in fact it's considered to be resultant in approximately 70% of skin aging, far more impactful than your genetics or even your lifestyle on skin aging. And not using it cannot be overcome by doing the best skincare you possibly can, going after the best lasers you can possibly do. Doing those things without using sun protection basically means you're effectively still losing ground on the aging process. So what's the science here? Think of UVA as what causes aging and UVB, which causes burns and is related to skin cancer formation. All types of skin cancer. Free radicals caused by UVA accelerates the breakdown of collagen, elastin, and all the other important skin matrix proteins that are necessary for a youthful, supple-looking skin. And ultimately, that leads to fine lines and wrinkles, sagging, skin gets thinner, it gets crepey, it looks aged. The sun exposure is also accelerating sunspots and discoloration, as well as dullness and deflated and dry looking skin. All the things that are related to skin aging that makes the skin look old are being accelerated by UV exposure. Interestingly, some studies have even shown that by using sunscreen, you can decrease the rate of skin aging by 24%. Think about that for a second. You can decrease it by this one simple step, decreasing it by 24%. And although many people wear sunscreen on really sunny days when they go out and about, to the park or the beach or on a run, etc., many people don't wear it when they're taking, their dog on a walk or going out for a quick run to the supermarket, or that when the UV index, quote unquote, is lower than it would be otherwise. And next thing you know is the cumulative effect of this UV exposure is getting your skin to age. In fact, even on cloudy days, you're getting UVA exposure, as well as even through windows up to a certain distance next to the window. So the best habit is to actually wear sunscreen on a regular basis. Make that a consistent part of your daily lifestyle so that you can benefit from this. Now, a couple points about this is also that sunscreen is not all created equally. I did an entire video on the benefits of different types of sunscreen and what you should be looking for. But in a nutshell, you want a broad spectrum sunblock that protects you against UVA and UVB sun exposure, as well as something that is waterproof, sweat-proof, and generally speaking, mineral-based. Now, for those of you who are watching in different countries, there's a whole set of regulations in the US that have different regulations in the EU as far in other countries, and I'm speaking specifically about characteristics that are important to look for in a good sunblock or a sunscreen. Every time I talk about this, I get a million comments about how sun is wonderful for you, how it's important for vitamin D conversion, etc. 100% true. Sun is wonderful, sun is great for vitamin D conversion. You don't need it on your face for either of those things to occur. Secondly, you ultimately have to make a decision how you want to approach this process. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life, but I'm here to also tell you the facts and the science behind it, that the UVA exposure is a very, very powerful part of the entire skin aging process. And again, at the end of the day, it starts with understanding this before you can make any other decision. So don't be naive about it. Also, don't be misinformed about what the impact of this single step has on the success of anything you do for your skin proactively, whether it's skincare or lasers, etc. So how do you reverse or prevent the sun damage that has occurred? Make sure you're using a sunblock that is SPF 30 to 50, that it's broad spectrum, which means that it covers UVA and UVB light. Reapply throughout the day. This is a common mistake where people don't realize that these sunblocks and sunscreens only last 2 to 4 hours or so. And if you're sweating and being in and out of the water, etc., even less. So make sure you're reapplying throughout the day. Now, this becomes a challenge for those who are wearing makeup and go out and about and having lunch outside, etc. And they put their sunscreen on in the mornings before they put their makeup on. So one of the things that is, helpful and to understand is try to eat indoors. Try to put yourself in positions where you're not going to be blasted by sun on a regular basis. For those people who don't want to necessarily reapply all the time or necessarily worry about putting sunscreen on every time they go in and out, a sun mask, a sun shield, Coolie Bar makes this. We're starting to look into carrying this for sun protection. But the idea here is that a physical UVA, UV block to the face can actually improve. This is something that my wife uses on a regular basis. She applies her sunscreen in the morning and uses this mask every time she's driving, every time she's on a walk, every time she's out and about. Now, of course, it looks a little funny, but at the end of the day, who cares if you are blocking the sun exposure that's causing aging and you're in this game to basically prevent or improve your skin? This is an invaluable tool, and I suggest having an open mind to using it, especially if you don't want to constantly reapply sunscreen or if it's impractical because of makeup, etc. So when it comes to skincare, how can you restore your skin from a lot of the changes or prevent your skin from aging? So again, you covered step one, make sure your sunscreen is in order. Step two, make sure you're on the right active ingredients that are going to turn back the clock and defy skin aging head on. So when it comes to the changes in collagen production, as well as preventing some of that DNA breakdown and antioxidant effects, key ingredients are retinol, because that's going to stimulate collagen. It's also going to thicken the skin as a result, and it's going to counter some of those changes that have either happened or are going to happen because of sun exposure. Vitamin C is critical in this entire process because it's an antioxidant, a very powerful antioxidant, as well as a collagen stimulator, so it can improve some of the UVA damage that has been done, both in terms of preventing it from leading to DNA damage, leading to collagen breakdown, but also stimulating collagen to increase. Both of these ingredients also help decrease the production of melanin, which is pigmentation producing. And retinol also functions as an exfoliant, so as a result, you're going to get some exfoliation and improve that dullness of the skin. So these are two very, very important components of good skincare from a sun exposure perspective, anti-aging. Niacinamide is really, really important, both in terms of collagen stimulation as well as skin barrier function. Critical, I think, to a good skincare regimen. So these are basically vitamin A, vitamin B, and vitamin C. B being niacinamide, vitamin A being retinol, and of course vitamin C. Some peptides can also stimulate and improve collagen production. And those are also kind of an additive synergistic effect to this whole process. Those are the big ones that are going to improve the structure of the skin as well as give your skin back what it needs and protect it against some of these changes that are occurring. Now, one other category of products that I really like in terms of improving pigmentation is the botanical lighteners. Things like daisy flower, things like licorice root extract, azelaic acid. All of these are really important because what they're doing is they're decreasing the production of melanin, which leads to pigmentation. So what you're doing is you're getting sun exposure, or you've had sun exposure leading to sunspots. Now you're fading them away with these active ingredients that we just talked about. By the way, all of these things are in the Karam MD trifecta. I put them in for a reason because they directly address the changes. Every one of these things can be purchased separately using whatever brand you decide to use. I like the trifecta because it's really easy to combine all these things in 3 steps, which really, really makes using it every single day really easy enough to be able to do it consistently and get the changes over time. So whichever direction you go, make sure you are on these actives in addition to the sun protection that you're doing. Now, what can you do in terms of lasers? Well, if you've got sunspots, IPL and BBL are really, really good. Chemical peels and lasers are very, very helpful in terms of stimulating collagen and resurfacing the skin. And if you do those things on a regular basis, they can have good impact. In addition, microneedling is also a very simple way of stimulating collagen. Now, I did a whole video on where these type of treatments fit in relative to skincare, and I would put sun protection number 1, skincare number 2, and these type of treatments number 3 in terms of treatment that you should be doing to manage sun damage and skin aging. All right, so let's switch gears and look at some common myths around sunscreen. Number 1, I don't need sunscreen because I have darker skin. False. All skin types and skin color, ethnicities, etc., are just as exposed to UV damage and free radical damage from the sun, period. So no matter what, you're gonna need your sun protection, and your skin will be accelerated by the aging process due to the sun exposure. So don't fall for that one. Next, I'm inside all day, I don't need sunscreen. False. The reality is sun and UVA penetrate through windows. So being indoor, especially if you're near a window, you're getting exposure to UVA. Now, it might not be as much as you are in direct sunlight, but you're getting some exposure. All right, so the next one is, my makeup has SPF, so I'm covered. False. So I hear this all the time. And the reality of it is, you would need around 7 times the amount of foundation to actually get yourself the right protection. My general recommendation to everyone is, don't rely on SPF makeup. Get a dedicated sunscreen that you wear underneath your makeup, and let that, feel rest assured that you're getting proper SPF. All right, so what is the bottom line? What's the action you can take? Start wearing sunscreen. Simple as that. If you want your skin over the next however many decades to look as good as it can possibly look, start with this simple first step. Everything else that follows, all the beautiful skincare, if you're doing lasers, etc., will work so much better if you're not constantly accelerating your aging process and then trying to decelerate it with some of these different treatments. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that puts it into perspective, because it's a tug of war. Aging versus all the things that you're doing to basically restore yourself or prevent yourself from aging. What you need to do is tip the scales to your advantage and win here. And preventing your skin to advance aging through UVA exposure is probably the simplest, most powerful thing you can do to win this game. And I assume anyone who's listening to this ultimately wants to win. That's what this channel is for. Skin School is about helping you understand what it takes to prevent or defy skin aging and make good decisions. And ultimately, the results show. I mean, overall, you'll see people who live in the north or live in areas where they don't get a lot of sun exposure. I mean, their skin looks 10x better than people who grew up in Southern California, for example, and sunbathing every weekend, etc. So there is something to this. It's not to be ignored. It's the truth, in my opinion. All right, folks, so did you learn something today? Was this helpful? Did this put things into perspective? Anything new? Share your comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And ultimately, I'm going to submit a Karam MD Journal newsletter that will be linked to this free of charge. Subscribe to that newsletter because there's a lot of great information that comes weekly for you. And for more information about the trifecta, make sure you check out our website and learn a little bit about this anti-aging system that I'm extremely proud and overwhelmingly confident that you will find real results with this in the most simple way. Because of its comprehensive and simple nature, you're gonna win this battle. Combine that with sun protection and you're set. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I love sharing concepts and ideas to help you make good decisions out there. So share this with friends and family as well. That's a great way to spread good knowledge. Make sure you stay tuned for the next episode of Skin School. My pleasure, Dr. Amir Karam.